Today is going to be a vlog in 3 parts. If the dog stops licking me. Hello, Dave. You just insist on being part of every vlog, don't you? Get down. Part 1, Andy update. I obviously haven't been here because I've been back at work for the last couple of weeks now. Oh, it's dragging already. 45 days to go. Is it 45? 45 days to go, I think. But we have had good news through from the social worker. Last night they have approved the additional 1.5 hours a day. I thought there was a bird flying over Dave there. They've approved the extra 1.5 hours a day that we asked for, or that the social worker and the school suggested we ask for to be able to have someone come out, work with Andy between sort of 8 and 10 every day. It'll be probably 8:30 till 10, 8 till 9:30. We're not sure on all of the details yet. But that'll be 5 days a week during term time, and that's in addition to the 9 hours of personal assistant time that we get through direct payments already. Not that we've been able to appoint anybody to do the job, but the award is there. Fingers crossed it won't be as challenging finding someone to do the school thing, because they've also suggested that we advertise it through the school, and the head teacher of the school is quite confident that one of the TAs will be interested in doing it. So fingers crossed that application goes up on their staff room notice board tomorrow. Hopefully we'll start getting some applications through next week and can appoint somebody before half term, and then just spend the rest of this academic year really just getting to know him. They just need to come out, spend a little bit of time with him every morning, well, 1.5 hours so we get our money's worth. Spend a little bit of time with him every morning, get to know him, and then eventually build up to the point where they can travel with him to school in the taxi every day. We don't know if that's likely to happen before September. If it does, brilliant. If not, we've got a person that we employ, so we're in control of. It's paid for by direct payments. We're not hiring somebody. We're not that rich. It's all part of the social care thing that is being put in place for him. But it's someone that we employ, so we can control when they work, and there should be some consistency that allows us to have there. So fingers crossed we start to make a little bit of progress on that front, and if we can find a person who's willing to do that 7.5 hours a week plus an extra 9 hours a month, I mean, what's that, 30, nearly 40 hours a month, that's decent part-time hours for someone who has a little portfolio of these personal assistant roles, or for someone who's a teaching assistant at his school, because the school are willing to be quite flexible about it. I'm sure if they've got someone who currently works 9 till 4 in their school as a teaching assistant, and we wanted them 8:30 till 10 for the sake of getting him back in school, I'm sure the school would let them start officially being employed by them at 10. So we employ them from 8:30 till 10. They get a little bit of extra money because of how it all works out. There'd have to be a little bit of incentive to do it, plus they get 9 hours extra time a month as well. It could be a nice pay rise for one of the teaching assistants, which would be awesome. More immediate news with him, Anna reliably informs me that he is now having a little bit of time outside every day. That's not something he's really had before. Not for a long time anyway. Since he stopped going to school, he kind of refuses to go outside, but somehow, and I haven't asked how this has become a thing that happens, and she hasn't explained it, but once a day they come outside, sit on the trampoline over there, that trampoline. I don't know how they get to it over all that grass, but they get there somehow. They sit on that trampoline for the length it takes Ed Sheeran's first album to play, which is half an hour, 40 minutes, I don't know, but he comes out here, does that. He's eating properly again. He seems pretty happy in what's going on. He's starting to sleep a little better. All in all, things are improving. I just hope the whole bringing an extra person in doesn't set us back a step again. But as it is at the moment, things are going well. Things are progressing in the right direction with him. And that's the end of part 1. So, part 2 of the vlog. I know there was no transition between the two. I haven't even taken the camera out with me today, so there's no way to do a little Kev's driving or Kev's flying his drone thing. By the way, the drone's not broken. A few people have asked me, the drone's not broken. I just haven't had the time to go out and fly it, and you'll see why in a minute when I take you through into the studio. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about before that is an extra idea that I've been mulling over in my head, and I know I keep throwing ideas out there, and I do it because I want your feedback on the ideas as they happen. You're kind of like my brainstorming group, but I think this one's potentially a good one because it's been playing over in my head for a few weeks as an extra source of income potentially for September. I've now got all the kit to be able to be a videographer. And what I mean by that is I can go and do like promotional videos for local businesses, schools, that kind of thing. Do a little bit of wedding video stuff maybe. And earn a bit of extra money doing that as well. Make that another strand to the business. I'm at the very early stages of exploring it. one of the things that really appeals to me about it is it will force me into learning how to use the Adobe Creative Suite properly and how to use my camera properly, because I bought this fancy Canon 80D jobby like 6 weeks ago now, and all I really do with it is turn it on, make sure the microphone on top is turned on, leave it on auto, and I'll occasionally do a bit of this and pretend I'm Casey Neistat. But other than that, I am not getting the value out of this fancy camera that you would expect me to be able to get, and it's because I don't really know how to use it. But if I'm committing to doing this for clients and not just for me in my spare time, if it's for clients as part of my business, I'm going to have to learn how to use the camera, I'm going to have to learn how to use Premiere Pro, I'm going to have to learn how to use After Effects, and really it'll not only allow me to go out there and get these business clients, but also really improve the quality of the content that comes out on the YouTube channel. YouTube will still be the main thing, but this will be an extra thing on the side for a little bit of local credibility. It's a real job that I can tell people I've got, rather than, oh yeah, I do stuff on the internet, which is nice psychologically, but that whole forcing me into actually learning how to use all the stuff properly is one of the real big motivators. So I'm looking to build a portfolio. So if you're in and around the Peterborough area, which probably not many of you are, but if you are and you want a promotional video making for anything, I'm looking to take on maybe 2, 3, 4 clients to do something free of charge, make you like a 3 or 4 minute video and use it as a learning process. So it'll be part learning on the job, so don't expect it to be the best thing you've ever seen if you do take me up on this, but it'll be good, it'll be something I take a lot of time and effort over. But it also has the benefit of then the only thing I'm asking for in return, because I'm not asking to be paid for it, is that you write a testimonial that I can then put on my website with this portfolio of 3 or 4 different clients, testimonials from each of them, and then that's something that I can link to on a business card, take out to local enterprise meetings and whatever else happens locally, stick it on the website and just see what comes of it. If I get 1 client every 3 months, depending on the video, that could be an extra 500 quid, an extra grand, topping up the coffers. All these little different strands of income all make a difference. I don't need to be able to go out there right now and become a professional full-time videographer making 40 grand a year, because I've got all these other bits as well. But if I learn how to do it, it benefits everything. It's an extra potential income stream. If things keep going, if there's so much uncertainty with YouTube at the moment, just as Kev starts to do it. This is like when I became a mortgage advisor. I started my own I was already a mortgage advisor, I'd done it for years, but I started my own financial advice company about 6 months before the financial crisis happened. I left my job, I invested every penny I had, plus some pennies I didn't have, quite a lot of pennies I didn't have, in this financial services company, and then the financial crisis happened and it all went to pot. I'm very wary that there's lots of uncertainty with YouTube at the moment, and I'm going to become a YouTuber. I know I've got the other stuff like writing, supply teaching, as insurance stuff as well, but it'd be really nice to have a grown-up proper job that I can go out and do for clients and just have all of that there as backup stuff, just in case YouTube does go wrong or doesn't work out. So that's my thinking on that. Let me know down in the comments what you think of it, or if you are interested in becoming one of my guinea pig clients, let me know. One thing I think I am going to need to get for that is a couple of extra lenses for the camera, because all I've got at the moment is this wide angle one that allows me to sit. I mean, there you go, that's, my arms are bent. I'm 30 centimetres from the front of the lens, and it's got a lot of stuff in behind me, which is great for vlogging because it allows me to get a little bit of context, a little bit of the background in. Not ideal for shooting a wedding, so I'm going to get a couple of extra lenses. I don't know what to buy, I don't really know anything about cameras, so if you are a camera expert, let me know down in the comments, we'll have a chat. That'll do for part 2. Right, for part 3 we need to be in here in the studio. The freezer's not making as much noise today, that's a bonus. As you can see here, hold on, here, this is what I refer to as devil's business. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 massive envelopes full of coursework from other schools that I'm going to be moderating over the next few weeks. It's the worst job in the world. It pays really well. I did it last year and that's nothing. It will be, those 2 piles will be more than halfway up to the ceiling before they've all arrived. I can't start any of it yet because I have to go to a meeting in Coventry next Wednesday to be officially signed off to be allowed to do it, even though I've done it before. But then that will be something that occupies even more of my time in the evenings, and I really need to get it done before the middle of June, because I'm also going to be exam marking for a different exam board for an A-level course that I teach, and that exam is on like the 16th of June. So from the 16th of June I need to be ready to drop everything and mark exams, because they have a really short turnaround time on them. So that massive pile of stuff that will be up to the ceiling, I can start marking it on the 17th of May, because that's when I go to Coventry, and it has to be done within a month. Last year I didn't get it finished until July, so that's going to be a lot of hard work. But if all goes to plan, that pile will be equivalent to about 1,500 quid for most evenings work for a month. So it all goes into the pot for saving up for just in case everything goes wrong in September. We're going to have quite a nice just in case everything goes wrong fund with that. Some other stuff we've already put aside, the exam marking stuff as well. I'll be able to survive until Christmas even if we don't earn a penny, hopefully. But that's not why we're in here. That's not part 3. Part 3, I've been asked how I'm getting on with setting up the Raspberry Pi, Retropie, retro console thing. We looked at it a little bit earlier in the week. I'm not going to give you a proper look at it now because I want to do a proper look at it on the gaming channel because I think it's really, really interesting. But it is now working. If I turn you around, I'm going to have to turn these lamps off so you can see the TV. I'm going to spin you around and show you this. Right, sorry I'm sat here in the dark. I can't set the lamp up over there, the wire's not long enough. So, TV coming on. We have a Raspberry Pi, HDMI into the back of the TV. I am going to look at putting the Raspberry Pi HDMI through the Elgato so that I can capture some footage for the gaming channel. I've not got that set up yet. Wi-Fi dongle on the back there. That's the SNES controller, which a few people have asked me about it. You can get these on Amazon. It's by a company called Next. There's loads of companies who make these. It's £10 for 2. I mean, it doesn't feel, it's got no weight to it. It's clearly not built the same way an old SNES controller would, but it just goes into the USB. And then we've got a 32 gig USB drive that's got quite a few games on it already. So, if we just plug the power into this, power plugged in, it should turn on. SNES controller. The awesome thing about Retropie is once you've got it set up, you don't need to have a keyboard or a mouse. It all works through the controller. So you can set it up as a games console, which is really cool. Just needs a minute to wake up, and then once it wakes up, this is my favourite part about it because it is so very cool the way it does this. It gets loaded up. That's the software that runs all the emulators, and then once we're on here, you just press the D-pad to pick the console that you want to play on. It can pretty much support anything from ZX Spectrum, which was the first computer I ever had, which is why I've got a few games on here. I'm trying to find Kenny Dalglish Soccer Manager, the first football management game I ever played. That would be really cool. All the way up to like PlayStation 1, sort of, Dreamcast, that kind of thing. Because I've got the Raspberry Pi 2, it probably won't run anything beyond Mega Drive, SNES era, which is why I've stopped there. But I am probably going to invest in a Raspberry Pi 3, which is the new one that already has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in. The advantage of that being I can then use wireless controllers, and like you can even use a PS4, PS3 controller with it. So this controller could double up between the PS4 and the Pi. So that's like 30 quid for one of them. So I'm probably going to invest in one of those. But I've got a few classic games on here. Once you go into this is my Super Nintendo collection at the moment. As you can see, lots of really cool stuff, including, but not limited to, Sensible Soccer. So I haven't actually tried to run this one yet, so fingers crossed it runs. My theory is by not showing you anything with Mario or it's owned by Nintendo, I'm less likely to get sued. So, Sensible Soccer, the SNES version, I believe, that's what's sat there on the SNES. Yeah, alright, let's just see if it loads up. If it does load up, this is going to be really cool. And this is the kind of thing that I want to be able to do on the gaming channel because of the fact that it's HDMI. So let's be a club team. I mean, we're not going to play properly, let's just play a friendly. just with whoever's preloaded. I don't care. Madrid against Istanbul, there you go. And we'll play. I don't remember the controls. It is 20 years ago since I played this game. And I'm not even really going to be playing it. I'm going to be talking to you lot. But because it's got a HDMI out, this is a massive advantage of it compared to just owning a retro console. So if I still had a Super Nintendo, it would be awesome, but I wouldn't be able to capture the footage without going through a massive rigmarole. The fact that this is on a HDMI means I can just plug it straight into the Elgato, and I can do a Sensible Soccer on the SNES Let's Play if I stopped pausing the game. I don't know why I keep restarting it. I'm obviously pressing something I shouldn't be, trying to kick off the match. Is it going to start now? There you go. And that is something that I really like the idea of doing. It does have sound as well. I've just, because I've got my headphones plugged in and wired and taped under the TV for when I do. Right, the controls aren't working. Clearly this is going to need some tweaking because every button I press is going back to that menu. We'll worry about that before we do a Let's Play, but that's the update on the Retropie. I think it's really cool. I'm looking forward to producing some content on it for the gaming channel, so if there are any retro games going all the way back to the birth of gaming through to SNES and Mega Drive, we'll put the cut off there for now. Then let me know in the comments to this video and I will do my very best to produce some content for that on the gaming channel. We'll perhaps do a retro evening once a week or something. We'll figure something out. It will be very cool. How is there a yellow card in a game where I'm not even touching the controller? If you've enjoyed today's vlog, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.